Hey y'all. So it's like it's 4:53 Monday morning, and I went to sleep super early. So now I'm up attempting to do a puzzle, but y'all know how it works. When I get on here and do a video while I'm doing a puzzle, it never works out that way. I end up talking to y'all and the puzzle doesn't even get touched. So as y'all can see, I kind of look like a chipmunk. The swelling has gone down, but I got the teeth pulled Friday, and I want to come back and do an update on the teeth pulling. But I wanted to talk to y'all about insurance. No, I'm not just, like I said, I went to sleep super early, so I'm not just up doing puzzles and making videos, but I woke up and I'm getting sleepy now, but I need to drink my tea. I woke up and I went downstairs to make my tea. And well, I went downstairs to prep dinner. Well, start dinner. But neighborhood insurance baby woke up right after I got one thing in the oven. So that's in the oven on the timer. And the other thing, I just was able to kind of more so prep it. I didn't get a chance to cook it. And right as I was making my tea, he woke up. I guess he didn't feel me beside him. And so I came back up and laid next to him. He went back to sleep. I went back down and got my tea. And now I'm about to drink that while I do this video and work on this puzzle for a little bit. But I wanted to do a video on, because I had a situation recently where someone was denied coverage because they had a license suspension. And they had a few other factors in there too, but the main thing was that they had the license suspension and they couldn't understand what a license suspension had to do with them being denied life insurance. And I explained it several different ways, and they either just wasn't getting it or they just didn't agree. But it prompted me to do a video. So with them, they got the denial. And since there was a few other factors at play, I decided I was going to send an explanation to the underwriters and see if they could get reconsideration. So the underwriter came back and they said, asked if the license was still suspended. I said yes. They were in the process of having it reinstated. And they said once it's reinstated, reach back out and they can, reconsider the case. So the reason why, so let me compare it to this. The same way if you were applying for car insurance and you had recent a recent license suspension, you've had past license suspensions, you had various other traffic violations, 3 or more moving violations, things of that nature, accidents, you would be either denied auto coverage or you would have to pay a very high premium. And the reason is because the auto insurance companies consider you an at-risk driver. They consider you an unsafe driver. So let's just say they looked into, your driving record and they saw all that stuff going on, but they still, even with knowing that you had all of that going on, they offered you the coverage, right? you pay one premium. Let's just say because you have all of that going on, your insurance is $500 a month. You pay them $500. You go out the next day, disobey some traffic laws, cause an accident, which results in your car being damaged, the other person's car being damaged, the other person may even having some bodily, damage and all of that. Now, I don't do property and casualty. That's what car insurance is considered. So I don't know all the, lingo and all the laws and all of that. But so you've paid them this $500, and then the next day you cause an accident and they have to pay out thousands of dollars. Life insurance companies, they're businesses. And all businesses are in the business of making money, most. Let's just say most. So they've only collected $500 from you, and then the next day they have to pay out $500. No business is sustainable if they operate that way. So it's pretty much the same way with life insurance. When a life insurance company sees that you had moving violations, various other traffic violations, they see that you have license suspension, they see all of those same things I spoke about in the auto insurance scenario. They look at it like you're a risk. In fact, when we write life insurance policies, the premium that you have to pay depends on what risk class the company, deems you to be in. It's literally called a risk class, and I'll explain that in a second. But so let's just say the life insurance company sees that you have all of that going on, but they decide to give you the coverage anyway. And so they knowingly, in their mind, when they see, all of this stuff going on, they deem you as a risk, and they look at you like an unsafe driver. You're more likely to cause an accident. We're talking life insurance now, so you're more likely to lose your life as a result of an accident that you caused because you're an unsafe driver. That's the way they look at it, right? But if they were to offer you that coverage anyway, and they would offer you that coverage anyway, and they collect one premium from you. Let's just say you pay $50 a month. So they've collected $50 from you. 2 days later, you go out, you disobey some traffic laws, you cause an accident that results in your death, and now they're paying your family $100,000, but they've only collected $50 from you. So that's the reason why, they deny for those reasons. It's, it's really kind of cut and dry. It's not, a whole lot to it. It's the same way, people can be denied medical coverage as well as life insurance coverage for things like their height and weight, medical history, because the insurance companies are taking on a risk. They're at risk of having to pay more medical insurance claims, if we're talking medical insurance. Life insurance, they're at risk of having to pay out a lot more money than they've collected in a short period of time if they take on certain risk. Now, it's a lot of I call them health, habits, and hobbies. Those are the questions that they ask. Because they're trying to understand how likely you are to be a risk to them. They're trying to determine your risk class. So let's just say you're someone who you've never had any health issues. You've never had any kind of traffic issues. You're a non-smoker. You just have let's just say A1 medical credit. Okay. They look into your health habits and habits. You don't have anything that's deemed to be risky. You're at perfect height and weight. You more than likely could qualify for preferred risk class. It's kind of like an incentive in their eyes, an incentive to being healthy and not risky, obeying traffic laws, where instead of paying the standard rating, so let's just say the standard, and I'm just throwing numbers out here. This is not any kind of, accurate quote or anything. But let's just say for me, a 42-year-old female, a $100,000 life insurance policy, let's just say it was $50 a month. But they look into my health habits and hobbies, and they don't see anything risky. So instead of me being in the standard rate class and paying the standard amount of $50, my premium could be a little lower. And let's just say maybe I pay $40 for that $100,000 policy. So it's kind of like an incentive for being, non-risky. Or it could go the other way. They could look into it, and I could have, all of these health problems. I may have some risky hobbies. I might be like a mountain climber or something like that. Or I may have what they consider to be a risky profession. And instead of me paying the standard $50, they may say, because of XYZ, we're going to charge you $60 for that $100,000 in coverage. So, that's really, like I said, it's cut and dry. That's how it works. But I've also had people question why people who have felonies can't get life insurance. And it's not necessarily that you can't. It impacts the ability to get life insurance. Let me word it that way, because if I go into, the time frame, this will turn into a whole other video and it'll be longer than I intended. But having felonies, felony convictions, awaiting trial for a felony, being on parole and probation, and being incarcerated, all impact your ability to get life insurance. Now, I'm going to start with being incarcerated. So if you're incarcerated, they look at you like a ward of the state, and which is weird because I'm going to come back and do an update, but I believe the way they look at it, like if you're currently incarcerated, it's the jail's responsibility to take care of your burial or whatever your, final, whatever, it's the jail's responsibility to take care of that. Is what I believe is the reason. However, if my memory serves me correctly, if someone is an inmate and they pass away, isn't it still the family's responsibility? I don't know. That's a whole other video for another day. But back to what I was saying. So you can't get insurance on someone who is currently incarcerated. And I've covered this in a video before, but I'm going to do it again. So you can't get coverage on someone who is currently incarcerated. And that is the same reason you can't. And some companies don't act. Some companies don't have the stipulation about parole and probation. Some do. But for the companies that do, that's the same reason you can't get insurance if you're on parole or probation. Is because you're still technically considered an inmate, although you're just not within the prison walls or the jail walls. You're still under the I don't know if care is the right word, but because I can't think of the right word at the moment, you're still under the care of the Department of Corrections, right? So that's why with some companies, you are unable to get life insurance if you're on parole or probation. So as far as the felony is concerned, it goes back to risk. So they're looking at it like, well, for one, even if you have life insurance, even if you already have the life insurance in place, and I gotta word this correctly because it's not one size fits all straight across the board. Every company works the same way. But in many cases, even if you already have the life insurance in place and you die in the process of committing a felony, let's just say you're robbing a bank. Officers come in, they shoot you, or you're robbing a bank. You have a co-robber, right? And they decide they want to keep all the money for themselves, so they're going to take you out so that they can keep all the money. And I took the police scenario out because that's a whole lot of other red tape I took the police scenario out. But let's just say your co-robber decides to turn against you and they're going to keep all of this money for themselves, so they're going to take you out and you die in the process of robbing this bank, and you've already had life insurance. There's a good chance that the company is not going to pay out. Now, whether or not my fingernails, I was cooking with turmeric, and turmeric stains everything, so my fingernail looks yellow right now. So if you were to die in the process of robbing that bank and you already had this insurance in place, it's a good chance that the company will not pay out, and it depends on what the terms of your particular policy is. Some companies, your family will get back the money that you paid into it. Some companies, they will not. And not all companies have that exclusions, but many do. If you were to die while in the process of committing a felony, the life insurance won't pay out. Some is just for a certain amount of years. Like if you were to die while committing a felony within the first 5 years of the policy, or the first 2 years, whatever. Because with most exclusions, they only apply for the first 2 years of the policy, but there are some that are in place for the life of the policy. There are some that are in place for maybe longer than 2 years, but not for the entire life of the policy. So it just depends on the terms of your policy. But I wanted to make that clear that in many cases, if you were to pass away while in the act of committing a felony, the policy won't pay out. Now, back to why if you have a felony conviction, because I don't say if you're a felon, and that I don't use that terminology, but if you have felony convictions, they look at you like a risk. They look at you like you are breaking laws. They look at you, like you are potentially dangerous, and you could do something that results in your death and results in them having to pay claims. And there's levels to everything. Some felony convictions are looked at as not as serious as others, so it's definitely on a case-by-case basis. It depends on what your particular conviction was. It depends on how much time is between you being released from the prison system, and how much time has passed from you being released and you applying for the insurance, how much time has passed in between your last charge and you applying for the insurance. And different companies work differently. Some may have longer wait times. Some may, the day after you're released, you can get the coverage, And then, of course, there are those companies, like we've talked about in many other videos, guarantee issues. They don't ask any of those questions. And there's some companies that will give you a regular, not a guarantee issue policy, a regular one, first day coverage policy that doesn't even ask questions, about, felonies and when you last, because all companies are a little different. Each company has its own pros and its own pros, its own cons. So I don't want anyone to think, oh, I have felony convictions, I just can never, there's no way I'll ever get life insurance. That's not the case. But these are the things that can impact you getting the life insurance. And I'm just giving a little explanation of why. Insurance companies, no kind of insurance company, life insurance, health insurance, auto insurance, homeowners insurance, the companies don't like taking on risk. They don't like taking on risk. We had an older roof on our home, and there was some hail and wind damage. And some companies are just more strict, than the others. And the roof was kind of like at the end of its lifespan anyway. And, we had the 2 storms, and Erie is one of like those stricter insurance companies, and they just kept wanting to repair it, which it wouldn't even meet the deductible, so it was like a pay out of pocket repair thing, whatever. But they just wanted to keep repairing it. They didn't want to pay for a roof replacement. And there were other companies that would have paid for the replacement. However, we couldn't get the coverage with them because of the age of the roof. So, companies, they don't like insurance companies don't like taking on risks. So that's pretty much, it's pretty much cut and dry. It's pretty much what that is. I think I covered, I said the felonies, the parole and probation. Yeah, I think I pretty much covered everything that I wanted to cover. Why moving violations, license suspension, felonies, parole, and probation. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's it's really just that cut and dry. Life insurance companies, no insurance companies like taking on risk. So if you have some of those things going on, I put a piece on. I successfully worked on the puzzle while also doing a video. Even though it was just one piece, I did something while also doing a video. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. It's not really much more explaining I can do on that. They just don't like taking on risk. So I'm going to go ahead and, what time is it? It's 5. Oh, shoot. What did I do? Did I turn it? So it's 5:20. And I'm, neighborhood insurance baby went to sleep pretty early too. So I need to hurry up and drink this tea and try to get a little bit more sleep before he wakes up, because he'll probably wake up early because we did go to sleep really early. So I'm gonna take my little chipmunk looking self. The swelling is actually, it's not as bad. And the first day it was no swelling at all, surprisingly, but I'm not even gonna get into that because I'm gonna do a whole video on the whole dental thing. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this. As always, it's the neighborhood insurance lady. I'm wishing you all love, laughter, life insurance, pieces of the puzzle, and good tea. When is the last time you guys had a really, really good cup of tea? I used to drink my tea. No, I have been being really good with at least drinking a cup of tea a day. Well, not even a cup. So it's kind of big. But I used to drink tea every morning. I mean, not every day. Sometimes it was in the morning, sometimes it was in the afternoon. Like I would even take like my loose leaf tea and my herbs and stuff to work with me. And I mean, like I really, really enjoyed my tea. Me drinking my tea was like part of my self-care. Like I really, really enjoyed it. And I drink it now more so because I know I need the herbs, the benefits of the herbs. But I don't really savor it, like I used to, and really, really enjoy it, just drink it just to really enjoy it. So I think I need to get back into really enjoying my tea like I used to. But I have been drinking it, and I guess the health benefits. So I had to get stitches, and it's to kind of dissolve. But they're coming, they had like the loose pieces. It's coming loose. It happened earlier now. That's, I don't know, weird. Anyway, I'll update y'all on all of that. But yes, I need to. That's what I. Okay, so I'm gonna wish you love, laughter, life insurance, and enjoyment. I'm going to wish you savoring the things that you really, really enjoy, whatever that may be. Hopefully it's not something that's harmful or risky, so you won't be denied life insurance. But yeah, let's get back to savoring the things that we enjoy. So I'm going to end this, and I'll be back soon to give you guys an update on the the teeth pulling, and hopefully I won't be looking like a chipmunk when I come back for the next video. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.